Eva and Squeegee in Ink, and welcome back to the channel. We have taken this whole day off in order to show you start to finish how we prepare, print, design and then drop off some shirts that we've printed into our shop. The design is really quite funny and I'll explain a little bit more why we're doing the design, but it's basically you following me around and seeing how I print shirts. I'm going to start the day coating my screens. So this is where I apply a light sensitive emulsion to a mesh on some frames, and the mesh we're picking today is a 55T, which is going to be ideal for this kind of design, which is like bold vector spot colour artwork. So I'm coating my screens in my exposure room, and this is where I've got light safe lighting so that I'm not exposing my screens prematurely. So I'm going to literally just coat the emulsion on the rest of the screens that I need for today, leave them to dry while I sort out artwork and all that type of thing. Because we've commissioned this artwork for the design, we actually want to make the most of it and do different colourways. So we've got a black shirt, a kind of ochre and a white. But I've just noticed that some of the layers are shared across the different shirt colours, so I don't want to be exposing the same screen twice. So I'm just going to break down the images, do the separations and see if they can share any screens. So here I've got the three different designs. I've got the ochre, the white and the black. So the black one doesn't actually share layers with the other ones, but I've noticed that the black on the white and the ochre t-shirts, they actually share that black there. They have got different second layers, but I'm going to use Sep Studio NXT to quickly do my separations for me, because it's just a really simple vector artwork and it's going to do it in 2 seconds with my template. I'm printing my film positives. These are the things that are going to block the light from reaching my screen, and that's going to help me make my stencil for my screen printing. And I'm actually printing my film positives in pure black ink using the Epson T7200 in conjunction with AccuRIP. Now what AccuRIP does is it tells the printer just to print solid black on top of each other, which makes a really perfect film for exposing, because when you hold these films up to the light, they're going to block the light from reaching the screen. In the exposure room, and I have my film positives resting on my exposure unit, so I'm ready to place my light sensitive emulsion coated screens on top. And I have a template that I lay over so that I make sure that I get my layers exposed in the right place on each screen. So I just need to line up my ridge marks with my grid. And then I'm ready to expose these screens. The next part of my process is counting all the shirts and making sure the sizes are there, and also just mixing my inks. One really big upside of printing your own shirts is that you don't actually have to follow Pantone colours exactly. So we have a lot of pre-mixed colours left over from other jobs, so we tend to actually just pick off the shelf the next nearest colour that works best for our design. It just means that we're wasting less because we're not mixing up ink that can only be used in special prints. I'm going to quickly use my heat press to put my neck labels in all of my shirts, and they just say Blind Maggot on them. These are ultra-colour transfers and you can get them from targettransfers.com. We've also got a discount code, and I've explained in this video where we went to Target Transfers and we used all the different presses and transfer types and combinations. So if you want more information on how to do this, just check out that video. I'm locating my film positives onto my platens, and my platens are already quite sticky because they've got platen adhesive on them with this tape. So that's going to hold them down. And then I'm going to line my screen up to my film positives, and I'm going to do that for each layer in the design so that they line up when I actually come to print them. And while I'm doing this, I've got my conveyor dryer and my flash dryer heaters heating up in the background, so they're going to be at the perfect temperature for when my t-shirts go through. I'm about to check on my platens, so there's three things to look out for. First of all, that the tack is going to be even all the way around so it holds down the shirt. Also that the distance between the screen and the platen is the same. So that's our snap, or our distance where our screen is going to flex back, so that has to be the same for all of them. Also, I need to check that they're the same distance out. From the actual machine, so that the print hits in the same place on the t-shirts on all four of my platens. I'm doing my first test print on a spare shirt. this is just so that I can make sure it's all aligned, that the artwork matches what I'm actually printing. And then I can go ahead and load up all 4 platens, get the flash in place, and then I can get through this print job much quicker. Because the ochre design actually shares one of the screens with the white design, I'm actually going to do the test print for this at the same time. That way I can complete both colorways during the same print run with the same like heating and setup and everything, and it's just going to be a bit faster. While I'm printing the fronts, I don't need to use the flash, so it's a little bit easier. So I thought I'd take this time to to tell you about the inspiration behind the design. So we joined this Facebook group, and it's called like Newbury Happening Now, and it basically tells you like the gossip of the town. So we saw on there that this story kept on coming up about the swans in Newbury, and how the environmental group in the council kept trying to limit the population, because apparently it all started when a swan went into a cafe, and then there was reports of like swans being a little bit overpopulated in the river and so on and so forth. And then these meetings kept on happening about how can we reduce this impact of all these swans on the river in Newbury. And then they came up with all these different like schemes to try and reduce and limit the amount of swans. So one of them was, oh, we should start fining people for feeding the swans. That was one proposition. And then another idea came about, like, oh, let's drain all the canals. And then another thing came out, like just one after the other, all these things about trying to limit the population down to just 2 swans in the canal. So obviously the people of Newbury kicked off about it in the Facebook group. They didn't enjoy that. And then they even got like the Swan Protection League involved, and that's basically the inspiration behind the design of Killer Swans of Newbury, and that's why it says Team Swan on the front. I've just dropped off the t-shirts in the shop, and now it's over to my team, because at this stage they need all of their price labels put in. So we just attach them on this little size tag right there. And it's a really important step because of our stuff being limited edition, which means that every shirt has to be allocated its edition number. So these ones are out of 30. So once the team have put all the edition numbers on, then they've got all the barcodes that assign the different sizes and designs and things. Then they're ready to put on the hangers and put on the shop floor and start merchandising. Thanks so much for watching. I hope you liked following us around for the day, seeing how we print our shirts and how we actually get them in the shop and make them ready for the retail. And please don't forget to like the video and subscribe to the channel to make sure that you're notified of other videos like this.